Oh, again, you don't put any stock into the timing of things. You just deal with it the best that you can. I mean, the schedule's the schedule, so you utilize every day for what's most important. Is it important to rest? Is it important to refine parts of your game plan? Is it important to make sure that you're adding things or cleaning up some things? The bottom line is every day you're getting ready to get better by your individual improvement and by what you do to get ready for the next game. So we've been able to keep our focus strong on that, and along the way, be able to work on some of those other things that I've talked about.
Tom, with the Illinois defense, and I know they had some personnel changes with the freshmen, but why are they playing defense so much better than they were?
I don't think they were playing it bad to begin with. I don't even really know what the numbers are like. I think they're a very good help team. They're very much like Ohio State in the way that they create a lot of havoc. They create turnovers. They get their hands on a lot of basketballs. They do as good a job of defending the elbows. They're maybe the only team that's like that is Michigan State. Well, Ohio State's pretty good at that too, obviously, and I think John and Thad's background together. But Illinois is tremendous at taking that elbow away from you, and they're always in help. Very smart defenders, and then the young guys have grown and learned, and they've had the older guys to learn from in there and cover for them, and I think that's really helped them. I think their defensive rebounding is good, and I'm not even sure what their numbers have been early to late. I think they've always been a good defensive team, and they have very good athleticism. They have very good intent, and they cover a lot of ground because of that athleticism and that intent.
Have they changed tempo? I mean, they had, I think, 4 games in a row where they held teams under 50.
Well, I think
Possession thing, or?
more or less. Yeah, more or less. And I think they've probably had some days where they haven't shot it like they would like to, but they've also had some games where they've really gotten out and played. And I think like a lot of teams in this league, they want to control the pace. And sometimes the slower the better for people. But I mean, I think they can play a lot of different ways. And bottom line is they do a really good job of spacing the court. Kendrick Nunn is just absolutely lethal in the corner right now, and he's always been a good corner player, and he's tremendous. I mean, he's over 60% from three in his last 5 games. I do know those numbers. So bottom line is they're ever improving because they have so many different guys that can score. And then when John Eakey is valuable every time he's in the game. You have to know exactly where he's at. Joseph Bertrand can beat you from 3, can beat you on the drive, can beat you on an offensive board. So I think they probably make decisions. I'm not sure. I've never really asked what their game plan is as far as what their tempo is. But I mean, they've done a pretty good job of controlling it and being opportunistic in their running. But there's times they've run more and doing even more in transition ball screens and things of that nature. Their ball screens, you have to prepare for. Everything starts with that. You know, when you're preparing for them with your defense, because they do so much with the ball screen and they do so much with the slip screen, and they're very good at all of that. It's 3 big things to me. Number 1 is transition defense, and that's one of the things. I think I said this too the other night about that we were looking to start to try to do that with Honor. Did I mention that?
Yes.
And then we had the incident. So, because we were really looking to do that going into the Purdue game, and it really, as I'd said to him that day, actually, because we spent about 30, 40 minutes of that in that practice that Thursday, is that it's never about the offense. The offense, well, that's the third part, but it's more about can they defend. So here's what happens, okay? Number 1, it's transition defense. Number 2, okay, it's having 2 bigs that have to do multiple things, whether we're switching, whether we're downing, whether we're trapping. You know, whatever we are, they have to do those things in real time, and they have to be able to communicate it to their teammates. And so that, and then number 3, do they have to guard those people? Okay, because if you're just playing 2 bigs together, and they don't have to guard them, then it just loads up the lane. So you can say, well, they're going to guard Noah everywhere. Well, they still have to be able to guard the other player. So that player has to be really good in driving, has to be very good in the alley, has to be very good in the screening game, has to be very good in getting other people's shots. So even when they're not guarded to the 3-point line, that they're still being recognized. Because if we just went 3 out, 2 in, they just jammed the lane up, and we'd be sitting there playing with 5 guys inside the free throw line. We'd be playing, there'd be 5 guys with, at least 4 guys inside 15 feet every time. And people are already doing everything they can do to box Yogi in and load up the lane when he's anywhere in that slot elbow area. So it really, if you're not careful, it can just kill your spacing. Now, you're putting multiple three-point shooters out there. You're putting guys that they have to guard to the NBA lane. NBA line. You're putting guys out there that can navigate the pick and roll. And again, you get the game in spacing. And now you've got not only the back cut threat, but the three-point threat. A little bit easier to do that. So you really the third part does become that spacing area. But to me, far and away, it's a transition defense, because if you have 2 bigs in the game, and they're not both really good at getting back, you're going to give up easy baskets. And in the margin for error in this league, the easy basket route is the worst thing you can do.